Hello and welcome to a new video on IGCSE mathematics. In this video, we shall be discussing factorization, and in particular, we shall be dealing with trinomials. Factorize x squared plus 3x minus 28. So to factorize, you need to solve kind of a puzzle where you have two numbers, a and b, and a times b equal this number for now, because we are dealing now with the case where there is 1 next to x power 2. There is nothing basically next to x power 2, so we're just focusing on this number for now. So a times b equals 28. And at the same time, a minus b equals positive 3. Why did I choose minus b? Because this sign here is a negative. Had this been positive, it would have been a plus b. So we are trying to figure out two numbers multiplied together that give us 28, and the same numbers have to subtract to give positive 3. So what numbers multiply together to give 28? This is what we need to ask ourselves. One nice way of thinking about this is to prime factorize. So 28 divided by 2, this gives us 14, divided by 2 gives us 7, divided by 7 gives us 1. You have to divide by prime numbers. So 28 is basically 2 times 2 times 7. And then we begin to figure out the actual factors of 28, not the prime factors now, but the actual factors. We always begin with 1 times 27. Excuse me, 1 times 28, I mean. And then we increase this number by 1, so 2. We want to know if 2 is a factor. So does 2 exist here? Yes, it does. So 2 is a factor. 2 multiplied by what gives us 28? By the other two factors. So we have 2 times 2 times 7. So therefore, if we take 2 on one side, then on the other side, we have to take 2 times 7. So 2 times 7 is 14. So the answer here would be 14. What other factors do we have? We have 3. Let's increase by 1 again. So 3 does not exist in the list of prime numbers here. So we don't have 3. So instead of 3, let's try 4. We have 4 here. We don't immediately see the number 4. However, we do have 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 gives us 4. So 4 times what? 4 times 7. Do we have 5? 5 is a prime number and it does not exist here. Do we have 6? No, we don't, again, because we don't have 3. We have 7. Yes, we have 7, but we already wrote 7 here, so there is no need to continue. We are done. These are the factors of 28. So which of these two have a difference of positive 3? So you just subtract. We don't care about the sign right now. So negative 3 or positive 3, let's just find the difference between each two numbers. So this is 27, this is 12, and this is 3. So this one is the correct pair. So our numbers are 4 and 7. So do we write here 4 minus 7 or 7 minus 4? Now we do care about the sign. So the sign here is positive 3. So this is incorrect and this is correct. So 7 minus 4 is the correct choice here. This tells us that our factors are positive 7 and negative 4. So our final answer is going to be x plus 7 and x minus 4. So this is the correct final answer here. Of course, you can do this mentally as well. I'm just giving the most systematic way in case somebody struggles with mental math. If you want to do it mentally and it's faster, that's fine as well. So for example, I'm going to solve this mentally first, and then I'm going to do it with the systematic way. So we have x squared minus 4x minus 21. So a times b equals 21. And here this is negative, so a minus b equals negative 4. So we want two numbers that multiply to give 21 and subtract to give negative 4. Of course, the two numbers are 7 and 3. This makes sense mentally because 7 times 3 equals 21. And here we will put 3 minus 7 because we want negative 4. So therefore, we have positive 3 and negative 7. So x plus 3 and x minus 7. This is the way to do it mentally. If you're feeling that this is too fast for you to keep up with, you can always write 21 like we did before, and you divide by 3 and you get 7, divide by 7, you get 1. And then you start writing the factors, 1 times 21. 2 does not exist here, so just ignore it. And then 3 times 7, 4 will not be there, 5 will not be there, 6 will not be there. And then you have 7 times 3. So this matches that, so you just ignore it. So these are the factors, and then we check the difference. The difference here is 20, and the difference here is 4. You want the difference to be 4. So this is the correct pair, and then we proceed like we did before. This is the systematic way of doing it. However, I was just trying to show you that you can do it either mentally or systematically. So the final answer would be x plus 3 and x minus 7 in both cases. Again, here we have x squared minus x minus 132. So a times b equals 132. And a minus b equals -1. Where did I get the -1 from? So a minus b equals the number next to the x. Here we don't have a number, so we just assume that we have a 1. So a minus b equals -1. So what are the prime factors of 132 first? So if you divide by 2 here, you get 64. Excuse me, you don't get 64, you get 66. If you divide by 3, you get 22. Divide by 2, you get 11. And if you divide by 11, you get 1. And then we start with the factors of 132. So 1 times 132, and then 2 times. So we can write the numbers down here. 2 times 3 times 2 times 11. So if you have 2, then the rest are these numbers here. So 3 times 2 times 11 is 66. And then we have 3. So again, the idea is to isolate the 3 and then write the other things down. 2 times 2 times 11. So 3 times these numbers here. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 11 is 44. So we have here 44. And then 4. Do we have 4 here? Yes, we can get 4 if we take these together. So 2 times 2, this is 4. And then times 3 times 11. So 4 times 33. And then we don't have 5. We do have 6. We can get 6 by taking 2 and 3 together first. So 3 times 2, this is 6. And then the remaining is 2 times 11. So 6 times 22. And then we don't have 7. We have 8. 8 would require us to have 2 times 2 times 2. So it would require 3 2's. However, here we don't have 3 2's, so we cannot get 8. Can we get 9? We can't really get 9 as well, because 9 would require 3 times 3. We only have 1 3 here. 10 would require a 5. 10 requires 2 times 5, so that doesn't work either. And then we have 11. So let's see if 11 would work. Of course, 11 works because we already see that we have the number 11. So 11 times, and then the rest of the numbers are 3 times 2 times 2. So these give us 12. So 11 times 12 would work. And then after 11, we have 12, which looks like this one. So that's it. We're done. Now we want a difference of 1. So obviously our correct choice here would be 11 and 12. So therefore, I will write here 11 minus 12 so that we get -1. And our factors will be positive 11. So x plus 11 times x minus 12. Factorize x squared plus 9x minus 22. So again, we begin by saying that we have two numbers multiplied together that give us 22, and subtracted together would give us positive 9. So mentally, this is very easy. This is 11 and 2, obviously. Because 11 times 2 would give us 22, and 11 minus 2 gives us 9. But just for the sake of completeness, we will do it with the standard method. So 22 divided by 2 gives us 11, divided by 11 gives us 1. So there are not a lot of factors here. So the factors are 1 times 22, 2 times 11, and then nothing else would work except 11 times 2. So we're done. These are the possible factors, and we're going to choose this here as well. So we already have our answer. It's positive 11 and -2, so x plus 11 or x minus 2. and x minus 2, I mean. So x plus 11 and x minus 2, this is the correct answer. Now, the previous questions were past paper questions. However, none of them featured numbers next to the x power 2, but you are required to know how to factorize this case as well. So it's slightly different from what we did before. However, the main concept is the same. Instead of saying a times b equals this number, we are going to equate it to the product of these two numbers. So a times b equals 60. And the a minus b is the same because this is a negative sign, so minus, and then this here is negative 7. So we want two numbers that multiply to give 60 and subtract to give negative 7. So let's prime factorize the 60 first. So divide by 2 gives us 30, divide by 3 gives us 10, divide by 2 gives us 5, divide by 5 gives us 1. So 1 times 60, 2 times the rest of them. 3 times 2 is 6, times 5 is 30, so 2 times 30. 3 times 2 times 2 times 5, so 2 times 2 times 5 is 20. If this is confusing you, you can write them down and you can keep reordering them so as to figure out what the combination is. So let me just do that a little bit to the left so that we have space to write the actual factors. So we have 2 times 3 times 2 times 5, and we are looking for different combinations of factors. So 4 times, so to get 4, I would need 2 times 2, and the rest are 3 times 5. So 4 times this number here, which is 15. Now 5 times, again, to get 5, I would just put 5 on the left, and then the other numbers, 2 and 3 and 2, on the other side. So this is 2 times 3, 6, 6 times 2, 12, so 5 times 12. It will be a good idea to get the difference automatically so that you stop when you have to. So for example, here the difference is 59, here the difference is 28, here the difference is 17, excuse me. Here the difference is 11, here the difference is 7, and we are looking for a difference of 7. So this is correct. So 5 and 12 are our numbers because 5 times 12 equals 60, and at the same time, if we subtract them, we get negative 7. But do we subtract 12 minus 5 or 5 minus 12? Of course, 5 minus 12 would be the correct answer to give us negative 7, not positive 7. We just ignore this for now, and this is positive here. Another change here is that instead of writing x plus 5 and x minus 12, we're actually going to write this number next to the x. So we're going to write 6x plus 5 and 6x minus 12. And then we're going to try to simplify it. So is there anything here that can be simplified between 6 and 5? If you have 6 over 5, for example, can you simplify it? Not really. But for 6 and 12, if you have 6 over 12, you can simplify. So you get 1 and 2. So this actually becomes x minus 2 times 6x plus 5. And this is your final answer here. So for the second one, we have 6x squared minus x minus 5. So 6 times 5 is 30. So a times b equals 6 times 5, which is 30. And then a minus b equals this number here, which is negative 1. I will do this one mentally because it's obvious. The most famous factors of 30 are 6 and 5, and they would work here. So 6 times 5 is 30. And 6 minus 5 gives us positive 1, but 5 minus 6 gives us negative 1. We will just use 5 minus 6. So we have plus 5 and minus 6. And like we said before, we don't put x, we put x with the number next to it. Not x power 2, but just x. So we have like 6x and 6x. Our final step is to simplify if possible. So again, we have 6 and 5. These don't have a common factor, but we have 6 and 6. So you have like 6 over 6, for example, you would get 1 over 1. So this becomes 1, and this becomes 1 as well. So therefore, our final answer would be 6x plus 5 times x minus 1. Factor completely 2x squared plus 5x minus 3. So we have here 2 times 3. So a times b equals to 6. Because 2 times 3 is 6. And the difference here, a minus b equals 5. What two numbers multiply together to give us 6 and subtract to give us 5? Obviously, 6 times 1 is 6, and 6 minus 1 is positive 5. So we will have 6 here, positive 6, and negative 1 in the other. And then we're going to put this expression here, but without the power 2. So we're going to put 2x and 2x. For the simplification, 2 and 1 do not simplify, but 2 and 6 do simplify. So this becomes 1, and this becomes 3. Therefore, our final answer here would be x plus 3 times 2x minus 1. For the next problem, we have 5x squared plus 51x plus 10. So 5 times 10 is 50. We multiply these two numbers first. So 5 times 10 is 50. So we want two numbers that multiply to give us 50. And these two numbers must add up because we have a plus here. So they must add up to give this number here, which is 51. Of course, the two numbers are quite obvious. 1 times 50 gives us 50, and 1 plus 50 gives us 51. So we have 5x plus 1 and 5x plus 50. So you can simplify the 5 and the 50. You get 1 and 10. Therefore, the final answer will be 5x plus 1 times x plus 10. Now, there is one more question here. Let's go through it as well. So we have 2x squared minus 19x plus 35. So first we multiply these two numbers here. So a times b equals 70. And 70 came from multiplying 2 by 35, of course. And here a plus b equals this number, which is negative 19. So this is not obvious at the first glance, so let's do it using the standard way. Standard way is to write down 70 and to prime factorize. If you divide by 2, you get 35. If you divide by 5, you get 7. If you divide by 7, you get 1. So the factors of 70 are 1 times 70. And then 2, let's just write them horizontally so that we can rearrange them like we wish. So 2 times 5 times 7, which is 35. And then 3 does not exist in these numbers, so we just ignore it. 4 would require 2 times 2. We don't have another 2. So we move on to 5. So 5 means we rearrange here. We have 5 times 2 times 7. 2 times 7 is 14. So 5 times 14. And then 6 would require 2 times 3, which wouldn't work either. And then we have 7. 7 multiplied by 2 times 5, which is 10. 8 wouldn't work, 9 wouldn't work, and then we would get 10, so we would stop. So here we are looking for a sum, not a difference, because here we have a plus b. So let's get the sum of each pair. So I'm just going to write it here. So here the sum is 71. Here the sum is 37. I'm just adding these two numbers up. Here the sum is 19, and we're looking for a sum of 19. So this is our correct pair. 5 and 14 should solve this problem, because 5 times 14 does give us 70. And here we want to add the two numbers to get a negative 19. So the only way that that happens is if both of them are negative. Negative 5 plus negative 14. So if we add negative 5 and negative 14, we get negative 19. So we have two brackets here. One with negative 5 and one with negative 14. And we put this number, like we said before, but without the power 2. Now 2x minus 5, 2 and 5 cannot simplify, but 2 and 14 can simplify. So this is 1 and this is 7. So your final answer here would be 2x minus 5 multiplied by x minus 7. This is the final answer to this problem. And this brings us to the end of our video. I hope this has been beneficial. Thank you for watching.